Good day to you, good gentlefolk. And please permit me... No, nay. You do not need to know who I am. You need to know what I am. For I indeed have the pleasure of being the executioner. I'm indeed the very stuff that nightmares are made of. For it is I who do punish those who break of the law, the highborn and the lowly, for I do offer the full range of services. I do hang, I behead, I disembowel, I burn, I maim all those who do break of the law. For in my time, justice not only has to be done, it does have to be seen to be done. But before we do discuss real crimes, let us discuss that other matter. For in my time, ladies, it is a crime for a woman to nag of her husband, aye. And should you be a woman who is judged a nag, then you will be sentenced to wear this. For 'tis the branks, or the scold's bridle, for this device will be... There's a plate that does rest between your teeth, which means you cannot nag. And as you're led through the streets like a beast, all the people will see that you're a nag. And they will laugh and they will jeer, and ladies, you will be humiliated, and perhaps you'll not nag your poor husbands again. But let us talk of real crimes. Let us talk of that dreadful crime of stealing. Ooh. Should you be foolish and steal the property of another, that which is lying about, or go to a market or a shop and take goods without paying, and the value of the item that you have taken is said to be worth less than a shilling. Now, in your time, a shilling is equal to 5 pennies. Thus, if you were to steal something worth less than 5 pennies, you will be punished. You will be made to stand in the pillory, the stoop, and you'll stand like so for many hours. And all the townspeople, they will come down and they hurl rocks and rotting vegetables and dead cats and poo. And it's dreadful, but it does get worse. For here, in this little bag, I do have nails. And here, a hammer. And with the hammer, I drive the nail through the lobe of your ear. I do nail you to the wood of the pillory. It really does hurt. But it gets worse. For when we do liberate you, when you do set you free, we tear you away and you do lose the lobe of your ear. For that is to be earmarked and to show to all the world that you have been punished for your first crime of stealing something worth less than a shilling or 5 pennies. But should you be really foolish and you steal something worth less than a shilling a further time, and you already have the earmark, well, the Shire Reeve, the sheriff, the king's man, he has a range of punishments. He may sentence that you have your nostrils slit or your ear sliced off. But there are other punishments for your second crime of stealing. For the Shire Reeve, he may sentence you to be flogged. The cat is out of the bag. The cat of 9 tails, 9 strands of leather, each with a knot and a nail. The blood knots to rip and tear the flesh. Men and women, boys and girls are stripped naked to their waists, made to hold the tail of a cart, and as they're led through the streets, they are flogged across their bare backs. It is most painful. Or the Shire Reeve, he may sentence you to be kissed by the devil. For here, a branding iron, marked with the letter T for thief, is burnt into the flesh of your cheek, or the centre of your forehead, at a later time, the heel of your hand. 'Tis a permanent mark that cannot be washed away, but to show to all that you are a thief. But if your stealing has so offended the sheriff, the shire reeve, he may sentence that the very hand that did do that stealing will itself be struck off. You will lose the offending hand. And so, by the time you have committed 2 crimes, you have become your own walking criminal record. For should you bear the earmark, the slit nostril, the missing ear, the scars of flogging upon your back, the brand upon your flesh, or be missing a hand, it does show to all that you have committed 2 crimes. Should you be foolish? Should you be really foolish and commit a 3rd minor crime of stealing something worth less than a shilling, less than 5 pennies, or perhaps you're bold and you steal something worth more than a shilling? Well, for you, the punishment is death. And so, for that heinous crime of stealing, the punishment is indeed death, for you will dance the jig upon the gallows. Shall I tell you how it is done? The condemned person is taken to their place of execution, to the gallows, where their hands are tied and the rope is placed about their neck. Then they're made to climb a ladder, and when they're the right height, the ladder is turned and they swing out into eternity. They dance the jig of death upon the rope. But this is no quick death. 'Tis a slow process of strangulation. For it all depends upon the weight of your body upon your neck. And so it follows that the bigger you are, the quicker you will go, the smaller you are, the longer you will last. Let me tell you that in my time, the age for hanging is 7, 5, 10, perhaps even 50 minutes to dance upon the rope, unless there is someone in the audience who will come forth, cross my palm with a few pennies. Then I'll allow them to pull down upon the legs, to quicken the process, and to send them on their way. Thus, 'tis a common death for a common man for the common crime of stealing. But of all the crimes that you commit, of all the many and varied crimes that you commit, of all of those crimes, the most serious crime that you may commit is the most foul crime of treason. Now, by the statutes of treasons of 13 and 51, it does set down that the punishment for treason for a common man, I stress the word man, is that most colourful of entertainments, of being hanged, of being drawn, and of being quartered. Now, good gentlefolk, would you have me tell you how it is done? For this foul crime of treason, the condemned man, as before, is taken to the gallows, where his hands are tied. The rope is placed about his neck. He's made to climb the ladder, and when he's at the right height, the ladder is turned, and he does indeed dance the jig upon the rope. But, I do not want him to die upon the gallows, so I look, I watch, I wait, till it is at that point, betwixt life and death, his dying. but he's still very much alive. At this point, I too climb the ladder. With my knife, I do cut the rope, and his body falls to the ground. This man is still alive. He may try and struggle to his feet, and my assistants, standing upon his arms and his legs, will hold him down whilst I proceed to operate upon him. And remember, this man is alive. First, I draw forth a most sharp knife. And with the knife, I take a firm grasp of the privy members, and they are severed. The privy members are severed, cast into a fire, and they are burnt. Thence, I draw forth my dismembering axe, and with the axe I do sever the head. Then the body is hacked to 4 quarters, and so, in accordance with the law, you have the hanging by the neck, the drawing of the guts, and the quartering of the body, but it is not over. For then, all of the pieces, all of the bits, they're placed in a great cauldron of salt water. They are boiled up, they are parboiled, to withdraw the blood from the meat, to preserve it. So when his head is held aloft upon the city gates, 'tis there all the longer for you to observe, for the birds do not peck at it quite so much in its boiled state, and his arms and his legs are dispersed to the 4 corners of the realm, as is directed by our sovereign lord the king, as a warning to all you traitors not to commit that heinous crime. But what if this traitor is a nobleman, a lord, a duke, a prince, a princess, or even the occasional queen? Well, for them, the punishment is simple, for it is that of having their head struck from their body with the axe. Now this is the heading axe, and indeed it is most sharp medicine. The condemned person is taken to their place of execution, to the block, where I do beg their forgiveness for that which I'm about to do. Then they do cross my palm with a few coins in the hope that I will do my job properly, and I must admit, I always prefer the gold-coloured coins best. Then they kneel at the block, and they do enter into their supplications, for they sincerely hope to be in a better place quite soon. Then, placing their neck upon the block, and at the giving of a sign, the axe is brought down with full force. And if they're lucky, if they're really lucky, their head will be struck from their body with one blow. But I have to say that often that is not the case. 2, 3, 4 or more blows are often required. And then I have to resort to hacking through their tendons with a knife before the head is finally free, and before I may proclaim, "Behold, the head of a traitor!" But what, I hear you say, if this condemned person is a woman? Well, for them, indeed, the punishment is also simple. For by that statute of treasons, it is said that a woman who does commit the crime of treason will be burnt at the stake. And I'll tell you how it is done. A large post is set into the ground. The woman does come forth. She is made to stand upon a low stool. A rope is placed about her neck. The stool is kicked from beneath her, and as she begins to slowly strangle, bundles of brushwood are placed about her body, and she is burnt to ashes. Hooray! 'Tis a fitting end to a traitor. So there you have it, good gentlefolk. Tales of crime and punishment in medieval England. And as you do venture forth upon this, the realm of England, indeed about this, the town of Chesterfield, have a care. Do not touch that which does not belong to you. Do not entertain the crime of treason, for surely you will keep an appointment with me at the gallows. So, in closing, I do caution you all, and I do thank you